behind the baller. My life is more than money and jewelry. My story's so crazy, dog. I said make a movie behind the baller. I went from playing sports to exotic whips. Ain't gotta tell me, dog, I know I'm the shit behind the baller. My life is more than money and jewelry. My story's so crazy, dog. I said make a movie behind the baller. I went from music exec to this podcast. Now I finally feel at home at last. Behind the baller.
Yo, what up, y'all? You are now listening to the greatest podcast in the entire world, Behind the Baller, where I rarely talk about jewelry and I talk about almost everything else. I am your host, Ben Baller, not Ben Humble. We are live in New York City, and there's something about this place that just makes me not want to sleep. And when I go outside and I smell these New York streets, I just get motivated to get at it early, all right, to grind and hustle and, of course, do what I love most, and that's talk that shit into this Shure microphone. So let's get right into it. I was going to do an emergency podcast yesterday because of the new CDC warning, and I've been saying this all along. You guys already know I've been on the front lines. This shit is much worse than people think it is. Some people are still taking it as a fucking joke, okay? I'd say even maybe 80%, and that's being like fair, right? Because I think maybe 90% of the people that are out there, not necessarily everyone who listens to this, but the people who are out there, just, general people I know in the streets and the general public, they think this shit is like not going to affect their daily lives. And my question is, has there ever in our lifetime been a time where schools were closed? There was a curfew in the USA, okay? Not in the 47 years that I've been alive. No, okay? The CDC said this could be bad. Really? You fucking assholes. How about you let us know how bad, okay? How about you be totally transparent and give us an estimate of how many thousands of people are currently infected in the United States of America, okay? They updated the number to 53 infections inside the United States, but then what about those 70 people who were infected on a plane trying to enter Costa Mesa, okay? There are still idiots trying to say that China is getting better and that there's no new infections and no new deaths and it's on a decrease. No, you fucking dipshits. China is not releasing any information to us, okay? There's no cure still, okay? And it's crazy. This company said they made a cure, and all of a sudden, their fucking stock went up like 3,000%. And for the loyal listeners, I've been literally talking about this for a month now, okay? And I have group chats with my friends from cars, from VVS, from employees, and several different group chats, okay? And I got guys, and there's always like one guy like, oh, you know what, the N95 and the N99 mask, it's not going to really be good enough for you, and it's not going to prevent you from getting sick. Okay, this is reality. All right. 2 doctors in China were helping out a person, or a doctor and his assistant, helping out a person who they assumed was infected with the COVID-19 virus. They both had on N95 or better respirator masks, right? There was 6 people that were helping them, and 2 of those people were police officers, okay, that were assisting, okay? The person later did test positive for COVID-19 virus, and guess what? All the 6 people that were helping, they were wearing regular masks, they got infected, okay? The doctor and the nurse wearing the N95 masks didn't get infected. Is that luck? No. Now, I know it's tiny, these fucking molecules that the fucking virus is in, whatever, and they're saying, even an N100 couldn't protect you. You know what, man? It's helping. Regardless, you don't know how fucking deep this motherfucker's coughing, whatever it may be, it's helping you more than fucking regular medical masks, okay? It is, now I know it is near impossible to get masks anywhere. They're not anywhere on Amazon. They're not anywhere, period. They're back ordered for months. Emergency food kits are sold out at Costco in California. I've seen videos of markets being packed here in New York City. People are getting worried finally, and they should be, okay? I love being prepared in everything I do. I love being prepared for a trip, for, my daily activities. And this might be the only time I'm not excited about being prepared, because I know for a fact that this outbreak is going to be so ugly. It's going to be tough to see that, people that I actually know get sick. Okay. If you see the situation in Italy, then you see some of the fucking biggest fashion houses have canceled their runway shows. In Milan, it's Milan Fashion Week out there. One of the biggest fucking high fashion brands did a goddamn online show only without an audience because they didn't want to risk the fucking coronavirus getting out there, okay? Food is sold out at all the fucking markets, grocery stores, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's no food anywhere, okay? Fear has hit hard in Italy. All right, hotel is in lockdown. There's hundreds of people in there because someone's infected. It's getting scary as fuck all over the place. All right, the only places not affected yet are Central America and Mexico. Okay, they just had their first case of infection in Brazil today or this morning. It's fucked up. All right, I mean, again, it's hard not to panic, but you have to prepare yourself. Keep yourself indoors if you don't feel okay. If you feel like you got the flu, then okay, go to a hospital, get checked up. If you're not in California, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, or Washington State, like Seattle areas, a lot of places don't really have the testing for coronavirus, an actual real test to see if you have it. So, it's tough, but, you should avoid churches, major crowded places, airports, okay? Orange County, San Francisco, and San Diego have all declared state of emergencies, which means they know shit is about to hit the fan, and it's already hit the fan hard, okay? They're asking the government for money for funding, all right? Korea is fucking bad. Korea went to a level 4 this week. When you go to a level 4, it's awful, all right? And it's not going to get better anytime soon because the shit's still going. Now the conversation about canceling the Olympics is being seriously talked about. In the last 3 days, almost $2 trillion has been lost in the stock market, okay? $2 trillion. Do you know how many fucking commas that is? It's so many it doesn't even look like a real number, like a realistic number, okay? And remember, the CDC says it's not if we get an outbreak, it's when this outbreak hits. And they told us to prepare for school closures, all right? Churches closing, major corporations. If you work for a big company like, who fucking knows? Any kind of a major corp, Google, Facebook, okay? Be prepared to be working from home. Businesses to be closed, all right? You know what? It's getting so serious, they could possibly cancel NBA games. Billions and trillions of dollars will be lost globally due to this virus. And they already have. There already has been crazy shit with Apple, Nike, a ton of people. They're canceling fucking Mission Impossible just got canceled because they're scared about coronavirus. Every major expert in infectious disease has stated this will infect and affect 60 to 70% of the global population. That means the entire Earth, the whole planet, okay? I, again, am not trying to scare you. I just want you to be prepared and informed, all right? Wash your hands thoroughly under your nails, on top, bottom, wash between the knuckles, wash your ass, all right? Protect yourself. There is a lack of medicine worldwide. We don't have enough antibiotics to help all the people that have flu viruses and everything else. People don't know what the fuck it is, right? And the antibiotics doesn't help for the coronavirus anyway. But for the slow people that still don't understand, this is not the Zika virus. This is not the SARS virus. This is way worse. It's way more contagious. It's way more dangerous. All right. And it's not the common flu. Oh, this year, this people. No, shut the fuck up. Okay. The flu, man, motherfuckers ain't this. This is a whole different level because for the people that are home, just feel like shit and they're trying to get better. This shit attacks your lungs, your respiratory system, your heart. Remember, on the second time you catch it or third time you catch it, just sayonara, kiss your ass goodbye, okay? This is 100,000 times fucking worse, okay? You need to take it very serious. If everyone gets their shit in gear, then yes, maybe we can calm this shit down in the U.S. They're saying it's not realistic to do travel bans and things like that. I don't understand why. It's fucked up. It is what it is. I mean, I know motherfuckers aren't worried, but let me tell you a real story, okay? And someone's like, oh, this story was fake about the Korean lady that was like, no, it wasn't, you fucking stupid motherfuckers. Because you're talking about my neighborhood, you're talking about people that own restaurants in a hood I grew up in all my life, where my mom knows these people. It's a small community, no matter how big K-Town is now, okay? A female flight attendant from Korean Air was on a flight from Seoul to LAX. She landed at LAX, and she was literally here for 14 hours, okay? She has been tested positive for the coronavirus, okay? She's infected. She hit 4 major spots in Koreatown while she was here for her 14-hour layover, all right? This bitch got busy as fuck. She went to fucking BTS's favorite restaurants and all the other K-pop fucking stars that they go to, okay? She hit 4 hot spots, pun intended. Not some low-key shit. She went to Hangari, Kalkuksu. She went to Agassi, Kopcheng. She went to Hanshin Bar. She went to Honey Pig. 3 of these spots that, you know, out of the 4, I've been to over 100 times. 2 of these spots I've been to over 300 times easily, okay? For the people like my mom who eats in Koreatown all the time, you know how fucking scary this is? Especially when you think of like someone eating like doenjang or like kimchi jjigae or soup or something. You know, it's like 8 guys will share a bowl of soup and it's like, or 8 people, it's like, you know, no one gets sick, but it's a whole different level now. You know, she's touched who knows what at LAX and who fucking knows, okay? I know it's exhausting, but again, just please be careful, all right? I canceled my trip to LAX. I had to find a different airport to fly into. And I even fucking bought a seat next to me just so I'm not fucking sitting next to somebody and just trying to do whatever I can to prevent myself, because the airport is the scariest fucking place right now. There's quarantines fucking all over. They're saying that there's 70 people right now in Atlanta who they think are infected. They're saying 75 people in, I forgot what the fuck the county is, but we're in Long Island. They're thinking that are infected. This is fucking crazy. You know, it's spreading so fast, and there's going to be a community outbreak. It's going to be crazy. There's this guy in Northern California right now who has it, and he has not visited China at all whatsoever. That means it is one of the very few, or if not first, in the USA of contact infection. He got it from someone else. But anyways, okay. I'm in New York. All right. You guys know this. All right. I got busy this week. Let's just get into that. Monday, I woke up. I hit my favorite fucking, little coffee spot, Pret. I like Pret better than fucking Coffee Bean or Starbucks. They got way better food. They have little packs of Cholula. Actually, Coffee Bean does too. I just like their coffee. Actually, Coffee Bean's other drinks are really good, but Pret overall is really dope. They don't have it in LA. I got my coffee, chopped it up real quick with my dog, Greg Una, aka the original Mr. Flawless. I think Greg is so talented, so fucking funny, you know what I mean? He's a great guy. Takes care of 2 older men. These 2 old guys, one's name is Joe, one's name is David. They create hilarious moments together, like many times a day. Both of these guys are almost 60 years old, by the way. And one is an OG black dude from Harlem. The other one is I think a Puerto Rican guy. He has a slight disability. And in fact, I think he even gets government assistance. There's even an older lady that Greg takes care of as well. And you know what? All of these people he takes care of, meaning he breaks them off a little bit of bread. He's changed their lives. Like he's like the best thing that's happened to them, and they're funny guys. And it's just amazing, like the first time I met these guys, I didn't really want to shake their hands, whatever. Like now these guys are clean, they're running errands, just good dudes. All right. And I hope that Greg eventually finds some kind of payday, if it's outside jewelry or something, that just gets him properly paid. He deserves it. He's one of the few people who I say this about, and he's just got a crazy big heart, man. But, I checked the climate on 47th Street. I'm hearing about motherfuckers getting jacked left and right, people getting robbed at their house. I'm just watching videos of this shit. It's crazy. Like, on surveillance systems. And honestly, as far as creativity and anything, nothing really caught my eye. Nothing was worth talking about. I did my meeting with my client, and then I went back to my hotel real quick to go watch the Kobe tribute, which was fucking heartbreaking. Vanessa Bryant, wow. You have strength beyond any mortal woman that I know. The part where she said, she'll never be able to see Gigi walk down the aisle and get married and then do the father and daughter dance. Yo, that shit hit me on a whole different level. It hit different for real. To hear Michael Jordan talk and cry that hard as he did, like, I've met MJ a few times. I've hung out with him. He ain't really the most soft-spoken dude. In fact, he's not really outspoken at all. I've seen him crack his jokes here and there, but to talk the way he talked about Kobe and just, it was really fucking remarkable. It was insane. So later Monday, early evening, I take an Uber to my agency. That's Excel Sports Management, and I finally get to meet most of the big dogs there. My agents, Eric and Maddie, are both fucking studs. They rep some big fucking heavy hitters in different sports, and they got me courtside tickets to the Nets game. We took a car service to Barclays. Could not get on the subway, even though it takes you right there, and it was going to probably be half the time the car was. But the coronavirus is just fucked up, and I was about to be in a fucking subway. There's been a lot of robberies and shit, and I just couldn't have that. So we get to Barclays. We're in Brooklyn, and the VI treatment begins. It is just fucking so nice to be noticed, and just mad love being shown by Brooklyn fans. I have a lot of followers in New York City, and like Biggie said, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. And as soon as we walk into the owner's private suite, bam, he's right there. The fucking owner, he's one of the partners, one of the majority owners of the Brooklyn Nets. And he's like, "Oh shit, you're Ben Baller." And I'm like, "Yeah." So we chop it up for a little bit. He's like, "Please sit down and eat anything you want to drink. We have a bar, we got lobster sandwiches here. We have this." And then he goes, we have catering from Carbone. And I was like, "Excuse me, sir. I'll be right back." That is my cue there to go eat. You already know. I love me some motherfucking spicy rigatoni. Those meatballs are fire. Didn't have them because I don't eat red meat. So anyways, I get a plate and I start chowing down. And the whole time I'm thinking on the way there, like, you know what? A chicken sandwich would be nice. Just something light, cool. I didn't expect much. I was like, worst case, I have a pretzel maybe with some nacho cheese. But there's a bunch of people in the suite, celebrities and such, but Bobby Cannavale was there, and I got to chop it up with him, and he's in fucking everything. He's a fucking amazing actor. I fucking love him. One of my favorite movies that he was in was a movie called Win-Win with Paul Giamatti, but most recently he was a co-star in The Irishman. He played the club owner early on in the movie, and that Robert De Niro was like, "Oh, do you like steak?" He was like, "Yeah, of course I like steak." And he's like, "Well, I can deliver you steak." And, that's him. Anyways, he's a cool dude. Future was there. Got to chop it up with Future for a little bit. Lil Yachty was there. My dog, Coach K, was there. And as I'm sitting, baseline, courtside, I pleasantly got a tap on my shoulder, turn around. It's my guy, Sheck West. He's like, "Yo, what's good? What are you doing here?" And, we chop it up for a little bit, but back to the game. It was a blowout, right? The first half was a complete fucking blowout. The Nets were up by 17, and they just, I don't know what it was, man. The Magic just need to get their heads out of their asses. It was weird. So me and my agent, Eric, we walk up to the owner's suite, back up there, and Andrew Yang, as soon as we open the door, Andrew Yang is right there talking to the owner of the team. And I'm like, fuck. Finally, I get to meet Mr. Math, Mr. Yang Gang. By the way, I was Yang Gang before he was. All right, now I'm older than him. But we chopped it up. He showed mad love. He's like, "Yeah, I saw your name on a list of celebrities that have endorsed me," and he thanked me for the support. He even went on his Twitter and posted a picture of us, and he said, "Thank you." He publicly thanked me. We got to talk a little bit, and I think now that he's out of the race, it'd be easier to get him on the podcast. In fact, he said he's starting his own podcast, but I know his campaign manager. I can get a hold of him now, and that'd be dope. Get it going. It's fucking crazy, right? The power of social media and the power of this actual podcast, Behind the Baller. Sidebar, thank you, Miles Davis and Jordan Winter, aka the Dust Brothers, and of course, without Mike Rappaport, I this couldn't happen. So all right, so we walked back down. Halftime's over, and I'm pleasantly surprised by our host. We were sitting, courtside, baseline, floor seats, and we got upgraded to dead center floor seats. All right. And as that happened, this game started getting fucking crazy, started getting close. Aaron Gordon's fucking busting threes, fucking Dinwiddie's fucking going crazy. The game got close. In the first half, there was maybe 2 lead changes total. In the second half, there was like 13 to 15 lead changes. It was fucking intense. Like I said, Dinwiddie was balling hard as fuck. In fact, they weren't missing Kyrie. I mean, who knows? But he was holding his own. But you know what? At the end of the day, the Nets couldn't pull it off. It went down to the last shot, and the Magic got away with a W. Aaron Gordon did his thing. He was fucking dunking. Motherfucker was shooting threes. He was busting threes in the ass. It was weird. And Mo Bamba had a couple big block shots. But you know what? Overall, it was a dope experience. It's kind of like sad. Not really sad. I don't know. It's kind of sad though. You know, like that a different team outside of my hometown from a totally different state, you know, from New York, they take care of me way better than Staples does, you know. But, you know, us Lakers, I'm Laker for life. And, you know, maybe they just, obviously I'm not a big deal in LA, which is fine by me. You know, big deal to my mom, my wife, and my kids, but, you know, maybe not to the people in Los Angeles. So Tuesday, I get on a call with Sotheby's Auction House. If you know what Sotheby's is, this ain't something light, okay? Besides the major jewelry houses like Harry Winston, De Beers, Van Cleef, Cartier, you know, you don't see them doing auctions for Johnny Dang or like Elliot or something, right? They don't even know that those guys exist. You know, no offense to those dudes. You know, they might know that Jacob exists because of some random things here and there, but like it's just a different level of what they're dealing with. And now they want to partner up with me and do a dope ass project, which I will listen, I'll make sure that I get all the good fellas involved, okay? Well, maybe not all, but I'm saying the key players that need to be in this project. But anyways, after that, I shot back to Brooklyn, jumped in an Uber to go sit down with the legend, Brian Donnelly, a.k.a. Cause One. He's prepping for an upcoming show, and he had opened the fucking studio door, and he has sick-ass paintings being finished up in his studio. Like, man, every time I see Cause, he just elevates his game so just effortlessly, but just all dope, you know, just kills it. We sat down and immediately we started discussing the coronavirus, something that I discussed with everyone. It's crazy. His wife is Chinese, so he knows about the severity of it. We talked about our kids, fatherhood. Talked about some crazy shit. Actually, told me some nutso shit that he's been just with threats and stuff. And I had the same thing. I tell him, I get that shit way more. But, you know, he's a very soft-spoken, just chill dude. He doesn't beef with anybody. But I brought his daughter some gifts from IF & Co. And then we discussed a potential secret project, which has been in discussion for almost a year now. It's a slow process, but it's looking real promising. He showed me some of his upcoming pieces that no one's seen yet, and they're fucking dope as fuck, of course. They're pretty much top secret shit. He showed me something else as well that is fucking insane. I don't even know how to explain. I mean, I can't talk about it, one, and I don't know how I would even explain it. But he assured me that I was on the list for all of this stuff upcoming, and that, you know, I'd be getting sent the invites and other stuff. And I was just very grateful that Brian is. I got a hold of him, you know, and we got cool before he like exploded, got big. But it was crazy. Just an hour before coming to a studio, he released his latest toy figures, the Cause Share, and he gave me all 3 colors. It's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, what an amazing gift. So I shoot back to my hotel to meet up with this guy, Andrew, who owns an accessory line called Vionel. I'm sure you've seen it. You see it's in Barney's, it's all the cool boutiques, and he makes like croc and snakeskin iPhone cases and all kinds of accessories. He made me 2 custom VVS pen holders. One that is like a snakeskin that holds for the pod pen. The other one's like kind of like a croc skin for the C-cell pens. It's actually fucking dope. And shout out to my cousin Anita. She made the introduction. And then later, man, you know, my boy Greg, you know, he came by to my hotel to take me on a date. We kept chopping it up. He's got a lot on his mind. He's really trying to come up, and he's hungry as fuck. So literally hungry, and metaphorically, you could say he's hungry. I don't know. Anyways, I'm 10 years older than Greg, so you know he's just he's at a different place, and he wants to get where I'm at, or if not, even, I mean, I hope he gets further, and I want to help him. It's just tough. But we hit the brand new Catch Steakhouse, which it's affiliated with Catch, the very famous trendy seafood restaurant in Los Angeles. I just was at the one in Vegas with our last guest, Hustler. And I won't lie, the steak looked really good. It looked pretty good. I got the salmon, obviously. It was lit. But if you ever go to Catch Steakhouse, their fucking sweet potatoes are so good. I couldn't stop talking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. We got some dessert even, coffee. And by the time we left, it was fucking heavy in there. It was like, I seen David Beckham. I seen, I forgot who, crazy fucking powerful music mogul. I saw a bunch of models in there. It was a vibe. It was dope. But who cares, right? I'm old and washed up. I don't give a fuck. We jumped into Greg's new Rolls Royce Wraith. I'm very proud of him. He thinks that, good for him, man. I'm not going to be a hater. And then we drove around Manhattan and kept chopping it up. He actually dropped me off at Dave & Buster's, and I was going to link up with Lil Uzi, but Lil Uzi didn't feel like, I didn't feel like waiting for him because he just takes forever, and the place closed, early. By the way, Lil Uzi brought his customized Bugatti Veyron, and he just made his car look like a cheap car. It's just crazy. Whatever. I love you, Uzi. You know that. And he brought his Veyron, he brought his Bugatti to Manhattan, and he parked it like right down from his apartment building where he has an apartment here, and parked outside, and he parked it at a construction zone. So the NYPD came and wanted to tow the car, but again, this is a $1.5 million car, so there's like some like legal limit issues, and they couldn't because they tried to put it on. They like literally attempted to put one part on. They're trying to put the boot on the car. And they're trying to put a boot on a fucking Bugatti. It was the illest shit ever. I fucking put it on Twitter. It was crazy. They tried everything they could. They had every part of the boot onto the Bugatti wheel except for one part. So it was an unsuccessful try. And so Uzi went downstairs. He gets in the Bugatti. He drives around the block. Then he comes right back around and he parks it in the exact same spot and he leaves it there. I texted him. I said, listen, you're my new fucking idol. And then all he could say was, yo, where's my nephew, London? So anyways, I'm at Dave & Buster's. I'm going crazy on Star Trek and Speed of Light and Halo and fucking all kinds of shit. But I racked up 190,000 tickets on my Dave & Buster's game card. And like, that means I could pretty much get anything in that winter store. I can get an Xbox One, the new PS4. I can get anything. I think they have like that robot, like that vacuum cleaner thing. It's like a circular robot thing that goes on hardwood floors. I could get anything I want. The crazy thing is, I don't want shit. So what the fuck am I going to do with all these points or these tickets? I don't know. Maybe I give them to my kids. I have no idea. But shout out to Dave & Buster's for always holding me down in any city, any location. Major shout out to my bro, Popeye. He is the fucking man. Popeye, I love you, bro. But right about now, I want to take a break. That was a pretty long intro, you know what I'm saying? When we come back, I have a very special guest on the podcast that you would never think I'd have on my show. He's a jeweler who called me out when I don't think I fully deserved to be called out, whatever, but he said he was defending himself. He had a small role in Uncut Gems. He's a popular jeweler on Instagram and on YouTube, and seems like he's a very hard worker. When we get back, I got Trax NYC on Behind the Baller. Yo, Miles, hit me one time with that Lakey Lake, please. Behind the Baller podcast, live from New York City. We got a very special guest in the house tonight, man. Listen, this is some funny ass shit because of all the people you might have thought that'd be on the podcast. This might be the last person you'd ever thought of getting on here. And shout out to my boy Josh Safdie because it was partially your idea. And you know how much I love you. So we have Trax NYC in the house, man.
What's going on, guys?
Yo,
what's going
Max,
on?
what's good, man?
Ben Bowler Podcast Gang, hello. What's going on?
So Trax, man, your real name is Maksud?
Maksud Agajani, that's my name.
Can you tell the people where are you originally from and where did you grow up?
I was born in Baku, Azerbaijan, 1986, September 19th. I came to America right around when I turned 7 in America, right when I got here.
You turned 7.
Yep.
Are you American citizen? I mean, not that it matters, but
Yeah, I am.
okay. I got a funny story. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Never heard of Azerbaijan in my entire life. In 2013, I get a call from the king or the prince of Azerbaijan or the sultan or whatever it was, the head guy.
Yeah.
And they want Justin Bieber to fly out there. I had no idea where the fuck this place was. I find everything, whatever. There's like a small special Ritz-Carlton that they built for him, I guess, whatever.
I bet they did.
And we go there, private jet, worst flight of my entire life, first of all. People think that private jets are cool, and they're cool if you're going like an hour or two.
Yeah.
When you start going into some wind shit, unless you got a jumbo jet,
Yeah.
no,
International flights are not really the move.
It's the worst. So we refueled, get there. When we're there 24 hours, it was just goddamn. I've never been to Turkey before, and I was the closest I've been to it. So I was like, oh, shit.
Well, the thing about Azerbaijan is they're taking the oil money and they're giving it to Justin Bieber instead of their own people. That's probably why I'm here in New York and not in Baku anymore. But that's just how they roll.
1.5 million for just like a couple hours. It was crazy.
Yep, they take their money and instead of investing in their own people, they throw it to Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga and whoever else. That's how they roll.
What language do you speak? I'm sorry.
I speak Russian.
Oh, you speak Russian?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So what year did you become a jeweler?
That would be 2004, right? I guess I got into the jewelry business. I sold my first ring in 2004 for $750, and it cost me $750.
Oh, shit. So we started at the same time. What attracted you to jewelry?
Nothing in particular. If you want the full story, I was just good with computers, and my friend's a Puerto Rican kid named Danny Cruz. He was begging me to install Counter-Strike on his computer. He was like, install it, I need it. And his computer was riddled with viruses. So I'm sitting there battling his computer and trying to get rid of these viruses and install this Counter-Strike. And his older cousin, who was hustling stuff from Canal Street and going all over the place, he kind of gave me like an internship. He's like, why don't you roll with me? Because he needed a computer kid. And he went down to Canal. He was wheeling and dealing, doing all sorts of business over there. And, I started photographing things for him and helping him with the eBay stuff. He kind of ripped me off. So I saw those, people down there on Canal Street. And I started thinking, listen, I could attack this e-commerce shit and photograph some jewelry and do my thing.
So that's what got you into it? Okay.
Yeah, I needed to make money. I wasn't planning on going to college. I can't sit still in a classroom. I can't listen to the teacher. And I saw, it's some money over there. In hindsight, if I was a kid all over again, I probably would have went into real estate or something like that, hustled and did that type of stuff. That would have been more fruitful than this super competitive, difficult business with...
Please, make sure you tell these people out here. They always ask me, I want to be a jeweler. I'm like, listen, bro, This ain't the business you want to be in.
Yeah.
And because I'm at the top of the game, it's even worse. Because you got a motherfucking million people are like, yo, let's take this fucking guy down. Let's do this. And they don't know about the story that, to get me there. Question, do you have a GIA degree?
No.
Good for you. Neither do I. Do you actually do any bench work? Do you know anything about goldsmith work? Do you do any
I could polish, which is easy, of course. But I like polishing jewelry, but I don't do any bench work personally, no, man.
Okay.
Do you do bench work?
I do a little bit. I think my specialty probably would be the rhodium. I could polish. Final polish I can get down on, depending on how much time I have. I do like to keep a good manicure, but if you see my cuticles are always fucked up. But the rhodium is my specialty. That's basically my favorite thing.
But what is it to rhodium? You dip it in the...
No, I'm talking about pen rhodium, dog. I'm doing the colors and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm dealing with lots of colors and everything and breaking it out. I love fucking with rose gold rhodium on certain things. I love throwing out the black rhodium on the thing.
How many colors of rhodium are there? You got rose gold, black gold, and...
There's white gold. There's yellow gold.
Yeah.
There's white rhodium.
That's pretty
what
much
I
it,
don't
right?
like is when people have a yellow gold piece and they have white diamonds that are maybe SI3s, and then they'll white rhodium the thing to make it look like, you know what I'm saying? To make it more like, there's all the fucking shitty tricks in the world.
Yeah, well, as long as they're charging what it's worth and they want to make it look nice, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. All right, man. So let's get right into the shit.
Yeah.
That's what we need to get into,
Sure,
right? Because these people, I watched parts of the video you made after you seemed to be very upset, about my podcast episode with Greg Una. I didn't really see more than 2 or 3 minutes, but I have to address, like, listen, you made some false claims about me. Okay, it's cool.
Sure.
And that's why we're here, so we can address this and put it past us, right? But before we even get into that part, which we're getting into it now, right?
Okay.
Why the fuck did you get so upset, man? I re-listened to my episode that with Greg, and I know Greg kind of went in. I didn't. I said that kind of one thing. But what got you so angry at me?
I felt extremely disrespected. Like I said in the video or what have you, I was just driving home and someone's hitting me up and you're looking down on your phone. They're saying, they're throwing dirt on your name. That's what got to me. And I'm sitting there, I'm just driving home after a hard week, trying to go home, trying to have dinner, relax, enjoy myself. I was with my girlfriend or what have you. And all of a sudden, I kind of lose my appetite and I kind of get angry. And I'm like, I have to do something about this because I didn't warrant anything to get any disrespect from anybody, right? So, and
That is true.
that's really what got to me. So it felt like a insult in a way that, I felt like I was in a, like you could throw something at a tiger in a cage, right? You're in a cage, ha, 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 this and that. And I felt kind of angry. I felt like I wanted to jump out of that cage and do what I got to do. And that's what came of it.
Okay, so question: Are you cool with Greg right now? Like today?
Yeah, I'm cool with everybody. I
No, but what I'm saying is he was you got mad at me. Like Greg was the one that like really went further in it. And then he told me like a day or two later he was looking for you. He wanted to talk to you about it. Boom. And I was like, yo, dude, like, I was like, this is silly, dog. But you weren't the only person that got pissed off. A lot of people were upset.
Yeah.
A lot of people were upset. Okay.
Right.
I don't know how much of the show you listen to, but I just want you to understand this, right? Most of my fans, my followers, they know. Okay. My mom was a dress contractor since before I was born, right? She sewed dresses for a living.
Gotcha.
And then she owned a small bakery, right? And then she retired around 2011. But my father was a professor for 30 years. He's taught at UCLA.
Hardworking people, man.
My dad never made more than $30,000 a year, right?
Right.
Where did you get the part about me growing up rich and my family was in jewelry and gave me my business?
I didn't say that you grew up rich, but I said you had mommy's and daddy's jewelry store to tinker with. But why don't you tell me, enlighten me if I was wrong about that? What it is and how you got to, what's the first jewelry store you walked into where you were working and doing business?
So what happened was my uncle was a jeweler.
Okay.
He had a store inside the Slots and Swap Meet. That's almost kind of like in the Bronx, that flea market and like kind of like thing, like one of those.
Sure.
So imagine like this is in the shitty ass area. This is the Slots and Swap Meet. It's South Central Los Angeles. This is the Compton, not the Compton. I'm sorry. It's the hood. It's the ghetto. And my uncle had a shop there. He sold gold. He sold everything else. They did repair work. They did a lot of nameplates, bamboo earrings. This was that era. My uncle and my mom didn't speak over some money. This is just typical family shit with Koreans and a lot of businesses doing through handshakes, no legal contracts, things like that. So when I decided to become a jeweler, I became a millionaire in 2004.
Right.
I traveled for a year and I said, hey, listen, this money's gonna go real fast if I don't figure out some way to try to do something. In hindsight, like you said, if I were to redo this again, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if I do real estate, but I don't know if I do this.
But just to be clear on your answer, your uncle, he gave you an internship at his shop? Or
Didn't give me an internship. I'll
he gave
continue
you a
if you want.
job? Yeah, sure.
So pretty much I came in, I said, listen, I got some money. I don't want to work for you.
Where'd you get the money from? Sorry to cut you off.
I sold my sneakers, my sneaker collection. It was a world record on eBay. In fact, it was a world record in the Guinness Book of World Records.
How did you get the money for the sneakers, brother?
So I just been collecting them for, probably about a decade.
Okay.
And I work with Nike. I was able to get a lot of stuff. I work with Jay-Z. I work with a lot of big people. So some of these sneakers were worth $25,000, $30,000 each.
Nice.
And I had a lot of sneakers. I was really smart about buying things. This was when people didn't understand, like reselling Supreme and things like that. I was really heavy early in the game, and that helped me with getting, obviously, my startup capital. So I told my uncle, I said, listen, man, me and my cousin are probably the closest relatives I have. He took over my uncle's business and said, I'm only going to do this if we move, even if we move to the next booth. I don't give a fuck what it is. It's got to be a new booth. It's got to be a new name, and we got to be partners.
Right.
I came in 100% legit. and I wanted to do this a different way.
Okay.
So that's how I started it. That's 100% facts.
Okay, I got you. I mean, listen, I don't begrudge you anything or want to disparage you in any way. Anything I said was in defense of my own name. That's really what I did, right?
Right.
You know, when someone messages you and they're saying they're throwing dirt in your name and it's somebody, you know, on IG or something like that, there's going to be people looking and seeing how you respond. Or they're going to say, oh, you know, I'd be quite frank with you, man. I wouldn't be sitting here doing a podcast with you if I let it slide. It wouldn't have been a good look, and I had to defend my name. If something was untrue, if it wasn't your mother and father, it was your uncle or you went partners. Listen, man, you know that's why people should avoid conflicts with one another, because you know.
But I get my information. I'm just saying I researched before, so it's accurate. But another thing too is, listen, I'm a lot older than you.
Yeah,
a lot older than you, right?
How old are you, man?
I'm 47, almost 48.
Okay,
so
you
like,
look young. You look young.
Thank you. So going on, my wife is a very fair person. Like Jimmy, we're totally different, right? Me and my wife. Like she's actually a decent person, right? Like
I bet she is. I bet she is.
She's like, hey, you know what? I don't know what the fuck is going on. She goes, you're taunting this guy. And she goes, I don't know what the fuck your problem is. And she said, you know what? I don't even know who this guy is. And all I know is that you're bullying this guy. And he seems like he is just trying to make a living. And I said, all right, babe, it's time for you to go. Like, I don't want to hear this shit anymore. You know what I mean? Then Josh was like, bro, Ben, come on, man. Did you feel in any which way that you were being like slightly bullied, like kind of like, or do you just thought that I was just being a dick? Like, what was?
I would use the word disparaged. You know, that's
disparaged.
the word.
Okay, that's more.
That's the word that would describe what happened. You know, especially it wasn't just one; it was two people having a laugh. I don't know who used the word eBay jeweler. Was that you or
it was me?
Yeah, exactly. That really got to me. You know, just starting a business, like let's say it was like you just told me your wife said. Just, you know, getting on my feet, doing my thing, whatever opportunities I have. And, you know, 15 years later, someone's sitting there and calling you an eBay jeweler and this and that. Hey, listen, bro, that's not the move, but it's okay. I handled it like a big boy within my own
No,
interest.
you did your thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Is the video still up, bro?
The video is up, yeah. Well, it's buried. I mean, who gives a shit about
Question,
that?
man. Do you have it up because it got a lot of views, because it was a big video? Like, what's your, because I had a video, I had something that had, my shit got over 1.6 million impressions. I just end up archiving it after, because you know what, I have some pretty big corporate sponsors, and they're like, yo, listen, why the fuck would you? Yeah, why would you fucking do this? Like, boom, you know, it was a lot of people like, I was like, you know what, let me just take this down. Like, what a no big deal.
Sure.
Is there a reason why you still want it up?
The video is called My Story. It's not called Ben Baller. It's not called Greg Una. It's not called Fuck This and Fuck That. The video is called My Story.
Right.
And it just so happened that, you know, I don't know what got in your head or his head, but fate decided that, you know, I was going to put up a video that was going to tell my story sooner or later. I just wanted to do it the right way, because people ask me, what did you do? How did you do it? So on and so forth. I scratched the dirt and built a business. I don't know how else to describe it. And it just so happened that these words came out. Who's the worst jeweler in the world? eBay jeweler. This, that, IKEA. And I'm like, yo, I guess it's the time for me to tell my story, bro.
Okay.
That's really what it came down to, man.
Okay. Before we put this to rest for good,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to address me with that situation? Or let's just let it go? You tell me.
Nothing.
Okay. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you have a camera in your hand the whole time? What was the situation with the camera? I didn't understand it because I didn't watch the whole thing. Well,
that camera was the camera I used to start my business, bro.
In 2004?
Yeah.
And you still have it?
I have it for memories, man.
Oh, I mean, it was just sentimental?
Yeah. I wasn't using it to sit
I didn't
here.
understand because I needed to know if that was what you were going to try to use so we could get into the fight. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
so
right. No,
I don't know.
think
I
so.
had no idea. I don't know if it was like an Asian thing, because Asian people take pictures and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think so. No, that wasn't it for me. That was my camera that I used. You know, it was my birthday. I made collected about $1,800 on my birthday, 18th birthday, and I bought that camera for about $350, and I went downtown to Canal Street, and I started photographing jewelry with it, and used the rest of the money to start up and get going. That's what it was.
I do remember seeing some stuff on eBay, but you know what? That's beyond the whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, that part of it is done. It ain't gonna be no more bringing it up ever, period, whatsoever. On some like better things.
I'd be more than happy, you know what I'm saying, to bury that and to bury any hatchet. That's part of my personality. You know, you call me up and you tell me to come down or this and that, I'd be more than happy to shake hands, extend an olive branch, and you know, move forward. And maybe this is the beginning of a friendship. Who knows? You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
we're done with it, bro. I saw you in Uncut Gems. How was that working with, you know, was that the first time you ever acted in in a movie professionally?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It was good. You have a good time, like you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was a once in a lifetime experience, you know, like being stuck in the Diamond District, right? Going up and down the elevator with a bunch of fucking 60-year-old guys, you know, day in, day out, and doing a bunch of bullshit over there.
Yeah.
And then you get an opportunity to burst in the room and start yelling at Adam Sandler with 5 cameras on you and a big production team.
Yeah.
It's a world away. And you know, there's nothing. It's a blessing, really. And I'm so thankful to Josh and his brother Benny,
Yeah.
for giving me that opportunity. Of course, they needed a scene that where you know it looks authentic Diamond District, and just so happens that the Diamond District soaked into my skin for the past 15 years, and it made it look a little bit authentic. So,
To be honest with you, that was probably one of the most authentic scenes out there when you were like, yo, man, what the fuck? A couple of scenes inside the store, you know, that was, but I'm talking about like the one scene where you're like, yo, I'm sick and tired of this shit. It was, you know, it was believable. Did you have any idea that I was involved in the film?
I heard, but I didn't pay attention to any details, you know. Someone would say Ben Baller this, Ben Baller that. I'd say, all right, good for him, you know. Like your name would come up throughout me building my business. You were always out there.
No, I'm talking about for Uncut Gems, though.
For Uncut Gems? Yeah, I heard that they were following you around, a jeweler, something like that. I said, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I helped Adam prep for the role, kind of shadowed me and everything, and I gave him all the, like, certain things. Like, one of the things I was directly involved is funny when he told Kevin Garnett, he goes, let me see those earrings, let me put them in the ultrasonic for you, you know? It was like something weird. It was just funny that was some funny shit. But yeah, there was, I had 2 scenes in the movie, and they cut out Las Vegas and they cut out LA completely. There was a scene with Floyd Mayweather. The Weeknd was still in the movie, and then there was like, it just made more sense to be at One Oak. It made more sense the way it came together. In fact, it wasn't Kevin Garnett at first. I don't know if you know, it was Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
That makes no sense because Joel hasn't won a championship. There was a lot of different things.
They cut the movie down to make it what they wanted to be, but I'm sure the directors and the production house, you know, they were tugging back and forth on how they wanted it to look. I think, me personally, that it, you know, all that real Diamond District juice, they should have kept that in there because that's my personal opinion. But I love the movie, so.
No, it was, but I think, fuck, man, I don't know how to like really, because I wasn't ready to talk about this, but. You know, when I talk to some of my boys, I talk to people who are thespians who study the craft. I know Adam personally. Mm-hmm. Some people are like, you know, Adam felt more like a scumbag gambler than he did a jeweler. But I was like, brother, that's part of life. You know, it was based upon, you know, Joe Rodeo, kind of that type of thing, exactly. You know, and all that. So do you think the movie, do you think having that part in there, did it help your career as a jeweler?
Of course. I mean, listen, people are hitting me up left and right, and it's giving me a lot of legitimacy, of course. You know?
And it was funny because, you know, like Avion's, they're like, that's my boy. And, you know, Izzy's son was in the movie and like that. And, you know, I mean, I don't know, you didn't come to the premiere in Los Angeles, but like, it was cool to like, just because, you know, I've never actually had beef with really any jewelers or anybody, you know, like TV Johnny Dang and stuff, you know, I have issues because I have legitimate issues with him. But, you know, like I'm even willing to discuss it on the show and anything. And it's not for views, bro. Listen, if it really gets down to it, I could be a fucking asshole and be like, listen, bro, you want to go like pound for pound, like no money, no nothing. Let's see who really want to have a pissing contest with me, bro. I'm gonna defeat you. I'm telling you that with all confidence. You know, like
sure.
I put him on blast for having so many fake followers and blah blah whatever, and everyone's trying to catch up. I was like, bro, I don't care about that. Let's just get the job done, make the client happy.
Sure,
you know
that's what it should be. I mean, listen, jewelers, entertainment, but you're also two, you know, grown adults, and you know, to have a conflict, in life it doesn't set a good example, and it's not necessary, right? It could hurt anybody. You know.
It depends on who's on the end of it, but yeah, being petty is definitely not good. I'm a little too petty for my own good, and you know, it is what it is, and as a grown man, I sort of, you know, that's on me. Right. I'm willing to accept any consequences that come with that. What does an average typical like Tuesday or Wednesday look like for you? Like, when does your day start? Like, break down your day for me.
Shit. Well, my day starts at 12:30 in the afternoon, right? For my staff, it starts early. I mean, I have 30 people working at the Trax NYC.
Right. Why 12:30, bro?
Because I like to stay up till 4 in the morning, you know what I'm saying, doing research and doing this and that. So I wake up late, and then I take my time, I feed my cats, and I eat breakfast, and I relax, and then I might show up to the Diamond District around 3. I'll be honest with you, Ben, I don't like to be there that much. I've been there for 15 years. I put a lot
It's
of hard
tough,
work
bro.
in.
Guess how much I'm on my store? And I have a beautiful store inside Beverly
I'm
Hills.
sure not a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure
there maybe
not.
twice a month, bro. It's tough. You know what? Another thing too is you would think it would be beneficial for me to be there, but it actually distracts the customers and people want to just sit and chat and not really buy anything and certain things. But no,
Yeah, sure.
it just is what it is.
So I pop out and I get there. Sometimes I get there earlier, and I sit there. And right now I'm in a stage where I'm trying to take strategic decisions. I'm not behind the counter. I'm not really selling anything to anybody. I'm just building a business. We're developing the website and developing marketing, coming up with some video idea, and building my team, building my staff. You know, probably something similar to what happens to IF and Co. and whatnot.
Right. So I see that you're active on your YouTube and stuff, right?
Yep.
Do you think if you lost your YouTube page and you lost all your social media, do you think your business would suffer?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, man. I was hoping for a different answer, but I just was curious because I haven't had a lot of jewelers on here. If I've had 2. You've been a jeweler technically longer than them, but that's interesting.
But why would you ask that question if I lost all my social media?
Because people say that social media is not important. I think it's pretty important, but I think also at the same time, I'm a little older, and I think I've established my relationships with people because I was in the music business prior, and I have certain things. So I have other ways of where, like, what I mean is, that term, your Rolodex. Mm-hmm. I still have a Rolodex, and I still have, like, I'm still going to be able to get the traditional way, like, whether it be on television, whether it be here, and here. And I'm saying if YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff was never existed anymore, like, let's say they became banned, like in China.
Sure.
China, it doesn't exist in China,
Yeah.
right? Like, how would you do business? I mean, there'd be a way to figure it out.
Sure, of course. I mean, listen, if you hustle, it doesn't matter if you're in another dimension. Forget about YouTube. You could be in a parallel universe somewhere, something like that, and you could still figure out what you got to do because
100%.
opportunities present themselves all the time. And that was a different dynamic, the Rolodex days, and I know your networking skills are pretty great, right? That definitely helps you. You make a lot of friends or what have you. But, I like social media. I like entertaining, and I like to talk to people through a camera. I like to explain shit. So that's my thing.
You know what, man? So sometimes I'm like, all right, this fucking guy right here, man. But I'm like, you know what? I was like, you do it in a certain way. There was that guy, he's a comedian, Jin Kid.
Yeah.
And he sent me a video. I don't know why the fuck I even accepted the message. When I did, I fucking laughed so fucking hard. And he said, you know what? Me and Max are cool, so it's not any drama. And it made me, I haven't laughed so hard in a long time. Because he did that video. I guess he does like impressions.
Yeah. Impressions. And he did an impression of me, which I love. I love that impression.
When he did, he's like, I'll press you every fucking day. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. The way he even described the chain, it was just hilarious.
He's good. He's good.
Shout out to Jin Kid. Yeah. So what are you passionate about outside jewelry?
If I had all the free time in the world, I just love history and science. Right, I just study maybe World War II, then World War I, then
Christ.
the Punic Wars, and that's just kind of my thing because I like to, I'm at the stage in my life where I'm trying to find out how people got to where they are and how they behave and what motivates them and how civilizations go. That's my interest, believe it or not.
Right.
Okay. And I like to, of course, ride my motorcycle. I got a Gixxer 750.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I fly on that thing around the city, as soon as the weather warms up.
I raced motorcycles for a very long time.
What's your top speed? What's your top out on a motorcycle?
You know what? I didn't make the 200 club. I think I did 195 on a public highway on my Hayabusa.
I did like 178 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, no. I would stay 165, 175 on any given bike night. I did the stunts on Biker Boys. We did stuff on a bunch of things. That's dope that you have a Gixxer. Listen, I look at you totally fucking different now that you have a Gixxer.
Yeah.
And that you have a Suzy. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, like if you told me you had a Honda, I'm like, okay, it's very reliable, and people who love Hondas love Hondas.
Yeah.
But the fact that I've had a Ducati, I've had an MV Agustas, I've had exotic bikes, but I stayed with Suzy. You feel me? Like I was a Gixxer and a Hayabusa fan.
Yeah.
I had an R1, I had fun on it, but I just was always a Gixxer.
I had a Ducati Street Fighter 848, but I had an incident on that one.
Yeah.
So I had to give that a...
V-twins are just not my thing, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't like the brrrr.
They were all good, man. Every machine I ever got on was good, but the Gixxer fits me like a glove. And
750 is a nice number. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
They make the bike so powerful. Let's go back to your history. and you're
Yep.
talking about how people are. I wasn't going to ask you this at all, but because I've been discussing it for now 4 episodes, it is very serious now. It is a very, very, very serious topic. I have people hitting me now worried.
Coronavirus?
What's your opinion on this coronavirus thing?
Coronavirus kills about 3% of the people that get it, right? And there's no stopping it. Now, whether it came out of the open air markets where they're, selling those wild animals or what have you, or it came from the lab that's in that region,
Right.
that it kind of spread out of there. I don't know the nature of where it originated, but the way the disease, this virus works with the incubation period for 2 weeks and this and that.
Some's going 40 days, man.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I have a sense that, and my personal sense that they're not saying this in the media or what have you, but if you just do the math of how it spreads, it's probably gonna dominate the world, and it could kill. It stands to kill 3% of everybody who's alive.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very dangerous thing. And I'm just, I'm just waiting for this wave to come. I mean, is it going to be quarantine in Queens and in New York? Is it going to be?
Did you see the
all this
CDC
shit?
finally at least gave the warning yesterday? Did
Yeah.
you see that? And they finally said it's not if, it's when it's going to hit.
Right.
So if you go to any Costco,
Yeah. They're clearing out. It's going to start.
so all the
clearing
emergency
out.
food is gone. Me and my wife have already got 60 days of food for every person in my family, all my kids, everybody.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point now where it is getting all over the place. China has not released any real numbers. They're completely fucking not being transparent.
Yeah.
There's probably about 1 million people infected in China. They got 760 million quarantined. There's probably somewhere between 50, 70,000 deaths there, not 2,500. It just, if you do the math again, like you said, think about the Princess Cruise ship.
Yeah.
Okay. The 80-year-old man from Hong Kong, he gets on the boat. Once they quarantine it, there was one person infected. He was a crew member, okay? Inside a week, there was like 400 or 500. Second week, they're at over 800 people now. This guy touched 1/10 of the boat. He's 80 years old. They only went to go eat the buffet.
Yeah.
He went to the deck. He went to a couple small areas. He's an old man. But it lived on the fucking elevator buttons for days. He breathed, coughed on certain things, whatever.
Yeah.
And think, that shit infected like 30% of the boat.
That virus is engineered to spread.
So that's what I mean. It's crazy that, and I'm so I feel, man, I can't tell you that fact that you know this and you understand how serious this is. San Francisco's declared a state of emergency. San Diego has. You're talking about a city here. How small New York City is, right?
Yeah.
Tiny. Almost 5 billion people here, and they're saying there's not one case. I had to do some research, hit some nurses up, hit some police people, some attorneys I know. There's a gag order currently in New York State. They don't want anybody to release any information. New York's one of the 5 testing states. California's too, obviously. And they're not releasing the info. So when they're saying outbreak, it's already happening. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, there's people quarantined in California. There's 700 quarantined in Washington State. I already know because of this town being such an enormous melting pot and how many Chinese people live in Flushing and how people fucking Chinatown and everything. It's like, listen, bro, people have fucked around and I've been very careful, with the masks and everything. But
No, the mask, I don't know how much the mask is going to be effective. You just got to stay away from strangers. Now, being in the jewelry business, that's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what the outcome is. Again, I let fate decide at this point. You take whatever precautions you have, but,
Listen, you're a young dude, though.
Yeah.
The ones being affected the most are ones over 60, right? I have a son with respiratory illness. That's where it's scary because, it's now the crazy part is,
I also have a respiratory illness, though.
oh, shit, then.
It's
So,
dangerous, but...
it attacks the lungs.
What I recommend is whether for your sons you have bronchitis or...
He has a history of severe asthma where it shuts down his entire body.
Okay, well, what I do, and I have, the thing is I keep beating my lungs up because I keep smoking and shit like that, but
Right.
what really, really helps me is steam.
Yeah. Steam rooms are great, especially for me. I had asthma when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But going back real quick, there was 2 doctors in China. They were helping out this person on the street. They suspected he had the virus. He was infected. He wasn't showing any symptoms. That's the scary part of it, right? And he had 6 people assisting him try to carry this guy because he acting a little crazy. He didn't want to be detained. He didn't want to be zip tied and whatever the fuck it was. And then there was 2 police officers, right? They treat them like animals. People
course.
are fucking...
It's a nightmare.
They're being... what do you call it? Blocked in. Like, literally, they're drilling, shutting the places. The quarantine is not even humane
It's
at all.
not even doing anything either, that quarantine.
It's not. So going on, the 8 people, the 2 police and the 6 assistants, whether it be nurses or anything, they were wearing medical respiratory masks, just the typical ones. They all got the virus. Now, the 2 doctors were wearing N95 masks, ones I have, and they didn't get it. So it's
What's an N99 for your listeners out there?
so the N95. So there's N95 up to even 100. I've never seen 100 personally, but 99 pretty much is how much you're protecting yourself from. So basically, the little tiny dots that are inside the thing, like a 95 would be tiny. 99 would be even tinier, meaning there's like 0.0001 of a molecule that could possibly get in. And the corona could be that small. It's tiny.
Yeah.
No one's ever seen these kind of characteristics in the DNA. It has HIV correct characteristics. When you can get it multiple times, which you couldn't do with other, strains of things or viruses.
Shit.
So they said the second time you get it is when you have there's a 66% chance of death after that one. The first time is 3%.
Oh my God.
On the third time, it's like 85.
Oh my God. On the third time?
Yeah, you can get it multiple times.
Well, listen, you know what? China was going to be a superpower. It was going to be this. It was going to be that. But people got to face the music. So we're going to see in the next 4 weeks. And, all I could do is pray for those people and not much else. If they released that microbe out of that laboratory by negligence, and that was a microbe engineered to kill populations, that is a massive, massive travesty. For China to commit. And they're going to bury it. They'll never admit it, just like they never admitted all their famines and all their other monstrous problems. But their economy shut down. And you know what? We got to start thinking about, the aftermath of that. People are in a dream state, right? This thing is happening and we're worried about some bullshit or this and that. And then something comes along and sweeps everybody out to sea.
Yeah.
And if this is truly that, it's hard to believe, and it's like being in a dream. Because I'm worried about, the jewelry store and the rent and this and that, but what's going to happen in 3 months? What's going to happen?
And we don't know. They're saying it could be even sooner. You're talking about school closures. They want, schools, university closures, the Madison Square Garden, no concerts, church closures, mosque closures, anywhere where there's things, businesses closed. Let's say, for instance, like what's a big company? Chase Manhattan, JP Morgan Chase. You have a building, bunch of people. No, that shit's going to be stopped because there's too many people, and it spreads through, aerosol. It could spread through fucking elevator button, whatever it may be.
So let's help your listeners out, man. What precautions should they be taking, right?
Well,
should right away order gloves, water, canned food. If they're stuck in a quarantine, should they get these N95 masks? Get a bunch of Purell.
Is this, though, the N95 masks now are sold out, back ordered for like 3 months.
Yeah,
even dentists that I know are trying to get masks, they can't. Everything's back ordered. It's fucked up.
Yep.
I've already been telling people how to wash their hands, how to keep sanitizer on there, wear gloves if you're going to a busy place like an airport, things where you're going to see people pass through things. Just be smart. That's just what it is. Don't wear your clothes in bed that you wore and sat in the bus or where the fuck it may be, but try to avoid things. I've already broke that down. But for the most part, yeah, when I'm in the airport, you see me wearing a mask, you see me wearing gloves, you see me using sanitizer, you see me not, just being very careful. Do not touch your fucking mouth. Don't touch your mouth or your eyes. Don't pick your fucking nose. You know what I'm saying? Wash your hands and just be careful. Sometimes it may be disrespectful. I was on 47th yesterday, the day before yesterday.
Hands.
And it's like, fuck, it's hard, right? Especially when you're paying respect to like an elder or somebody. And it's like, you know what? Every time I do that, I'm making sure I don't touch my mouth or my eyes or my hands or my nose, and I'm just sanitizing.
Yep.
So just keep yourself clean, guys. I've already mentioned this before to you.
Right.
Continuing and carrying on.
Good. Okay.
Do you have any other business measures besides Trax NYC?
Well, I'm fucking with the news. That's why I'm a little briefed on this coronavirus, because people like me explaining stuff, and I like the podcasting thing. So I'm playing around with the media. That's pretty much it, essentially.
So then, what is the goal for Trax NYC? Like you've come a long way. Do you feel like you have a long way to go? Do you feel like you peaked? I'm just curious.
I definitely didn't peak. Everybody in the jewelry business, when they get their money, they go into the real estate or they go into something else. I like fucking with the media, so I think I might, put my pinky toe into that.
Good.
But I want to build my business and I want to take a trip to Tokyo. Those dreams are kind of dashed now for with this bullshit going on. But, I got Trax Tokyo out there. It's a good friend of mine.
You know what's funny is he's a semi-client and friend. Yeah, he's a client friend of mine too as well. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's the best. Hideki's an amazing guy.
I'm in Tokyo 3-4 times. I just had to cancel next week's trip.
Yeah.
All my clients and everything. It's fucked up. It's getting really bad. But that's funny. I didn't even think about that right now until I realized. When all that shit happened, he reached out to me. He's like, yo, man, please don't fight.
He did that. He's the best. Hideki's a really, really good dude. And, this business is a lot of pressure over here. I want to get it on its feet, and I kind of want to work at Trax Tokyo, get the fucking pressure off of me, let this thing do its thing, make money because I have jewelers working, with so on and so forth. I got good friends here that are holding it down, and I want to go to Trax Tokyo and I love Tokyo. I don't really know how else to fucking describe it.
I love Tokyo. It's one of my favorite places to go to.
Yeah, take a couple of months off.
Have you ever had a client not pay you?
Of course.
And what'd you do, man? How do you handle it?
That depends. I mean, sometimes there's no need to exert the energy to go chase them out. You just got to avoid that situation. Whether they put it, if you follow business protocol, you're not going to be put in that situation. Some client, if they're going to put a deposit or so on and so forth, you don't give them anything and let them out. Of course, you got this Takashi shit that I dealt with, but
I don't know. Actually, tell you the truth. Again, I'm sorry, Max. I not to fucking like.
Yeah.
I kind of get into a self-obsession thing, and I know the news here and there. As far as some in the jewelry business, like kind of like stuff, I had heard something on World Star, but I don't know exactly. Could you break down the situation?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just marketing my business, and I was just giving out some free earrings or something like that. And some DJ gave a bag of with the Trax logo to Takashi. They photographed him, and all of a sudden, Shadi pops out to my office and says, "Oh, I've been following you for a long time. I've been doing this and doing that and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da." And he brings this kid in. And I guess they had an angle. I didn't even know who he was at the time. I was like, oh, Takashi, this and that. I didn't know what was going on. But he brought this kid in, and, I saw a marketing opportunity. I didn't know anything about him. Again, like you're self-absorbed, or so to speak.
Right.
I was sitting there listening to... ancient Rome on a podcast or on audiobook.
Right.
I'm not listening to paying attention to who's popping off in hip hop. But when I met him, it was Shadi. He gave me the bring this to me and do this and do that. And I saw him when I did my research. I saw the attention this guy was getting, and I hopped on my Ducati Street Fighter and I went down to Brooklyn where they were at. And, Shadi wanted me in there because I'm a jeweler, and I gave him some legitimacy. And we were rolling around and hanging out, and I was just doing my marketing thing. And then, they had the shooting in the Barclays Center, and things went left, and they had other priorities. And I, cashed in on my marketing opportunity as best as I could, which went viral for me. And, that kind of disparaged my image too, but that was self-inflicted. But I knew that I could maneuver around that. As soon as I got the attention, then I could tell a different story, then I could do this, then I could do gold education and all sorts of shit. So that's really how that went down.
What's crazy is that you just really broke that down in a scientific way, and you really did break it down as if someone was about, 11 years old should be able to understand that. And then on a business level, you broke that down, as a first year, second year, university person. Like that, it was interesting that you would understand, you admitted it, because there's things I might have done and be like, what, this is gonna be some shit. Fuck it, let's do this and let's see what the fire does. Maybe the fire takes us into a good place, maybe it takes us to a bad place, and we prepare for both of it.
Well, I say one thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I always read on your page, where you're Ben Baller, not Ben Humble, and that's your thing. That's cool. But me, I'm a humble guy. I don't like the trendy brands. I don't like I don't really give a shit what celebrity or this and that. That's just me. I mean, everybody.
Good for you.
Yeah, everybody pays attention to.
You see me wearing any?
I see your bathing ape back there. And,
I'm endorsed by them, bro. That's an endorsement.
I got you. Of course, whatever it is. So I'm not saying that you're some trendy. You're a white tee and you have a classic look or what have you.
Right.
But for me, none of that shit matters, and I know that people's minds are malleable. They'll say that you're a sucker one day, and then if you believe in yourself, which I do, and you strengthen your mind, you could change their perspective. You can enlighten them in certain ways, and I like to play that game. And if I have to, take 2 steps back to take 3 steps forward, I will.
Hey, man, shit. Again, man, you're winning me over, man.
I appreciate it.
You're making me rethink about, what I'm saying? Like, I might have to make a new post about you. How long do you see yourself in the jewelry business? Like, how long do you see yourself doing the same thing?
Well,
not the same thing. I'm sorry.
Building this business and involving myself with this. The reality is, it's at this point in time, with all the things that I've been involved with, it's already in my blood, man. There's nowhere to go, and this is my bread and butter. This is the business that's been feeding me since I was 18 years old, and giving me the chance to live a independent life, and I respect it, and I learned it, and the knowledge I have here as much as I would love to study this and study that and do this and do that, the knowledge I have here is greater than, and it made a man out of me as well. So I think I'm going to keep kicking this and keep hustling for a while and see, and
That's good. I mean,
take it to the grave with
hey
me.
man,
That's
there's
what it
nothing
looks
wrong
like.
with you feed 35 people too, so that's a big deal too.
Yep.
What would you say your biggest piece you've made to date that kind of like is famous?
Well, I just popped out today, now that you mentioned it, with this piece I made for Jody High Roller, which is pretty cool. As you guys pointed out, right? I mean, I like to serve. When I started in the business, my mindset was, because I didn't come from a rich background, I always thought that people were watching their purse. And that's why when I sold my first ring, I bought it for $750 and I sold it for $750. I'm always thinking about people. I can't imagine selling something to somebody for $10,000, $100,000, $200,000. It was never in my mentality. So I went for the mass market. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
$395, right? $650, $750. And I just wanted to sell jewelry to the masses. That was my objective.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about Jay-Z and Beyonce and the top of the world.
Right.
So I built my business around that. But, I personally have the jewelry skills and the cognitive skills to put a piece of jewelry together. It's not as hard as people might think.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but it takes some measurement.
When it gets to the intricate detail things, like this last piece I made with Takashi Murakami, it is serious business. It takes time. You can't defy science in certain ways. There's a lot of different things going on. I'm not using CAD on something like this. There's CAD. Sometimes the things got to come in, but I get it.
So when it comes to that, I mean, I made a pretty sick piece for this guy. That cost about $80,000. And I got into it particularly because he caught on to this little conflict we had. And some high rollers kind of came my way from that. Unfortunately, I mean, I guess, so to speak,
Why unfortunately? I mean,
well,
that's good for you.
that's not the way I wanted to attract them, but so on and so forth. So I'm doing this, and my personal skills, I could put a piece of beautiful jewelry together, but I'm building a business that gives people
Now
some
you owe me
value.
dinner, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now I owe you dinner. I got you anytime you want, bro.
I never had Azerbaijan food.
I take you to Corona restaurant.
I know, funny. That's an amazing way to look at things. I will say this.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you on like Nike Talk Threads here and there, just seeing people pop up. Hey man, they got the fucking the bow tie earrings. You know what I'm saying? They got this and they got the fucking this is this. And I was like, you know what? This dude's just a major manufacturer. That's like, I didn't think it was a young dude. It looked like it was a major company. So I was like, and then when I finally started seeing around, I don't know if you know my relationship with World Star. Q is one of my best friends in my life. He is my firstborn's godson. He even left a small piece to my son, and he's passed away. Rest in peace. So that's my family, and I have World Star email address. I'm still part of the of that team.
They told me.
Yeah. So it's funny. Like I sit there and I never hated. If I was gonna be a dick, I was said what I've said.
Sure.
But you know what? You did what you have to do to do your thing. It's just funny because I always thought it was like a 200-person company, China, New York, wherever the fuck it was. I wasn't expecting it to be another thing. But going on,
Sure.
what do you do for fun besides riding your motorcycle?
Besides riding my motorcycle, besides women, besides smoking a joint and watching, YouTube and podcasts and things like that. Not much, man. I just keep to myself, and I like to study. I like to learn. It's a very rewarding feeling for me when my mind opens up to a higher dimension. I'm just looking and observing the world. I'm very curious about it, and my first priority as a young man was to make an honest dollar and to get myself on my feet, pay my own rent, and be able to fucking lift a fork and put it to my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And live my life. I accomplished that for myself, and now I just want to, enlighten my mind, travel, chill. That's it. Same shit. Nothing special, bro.
Nice. Do you have a favorite restaurant in New York City?
The first one that popped into my head is Monzo, right? In Italy. You ever heard of Italy?
Yeah, but I've never been in Monzo before.
Italy is like a supermarket that's all Italian imported stuff, and it has like 5 restaurants in it.
Right. It's Mario Batali, right?
I think so, yeah. That name rings a bell. So Monzo's in there now. What's the story with Monzo is they got vintage wines from Italy, 1976, 1986. I had a 67 over there. I think I drank them all already.
Oh, shit,
yeah,
okay.
but those are, and it's not that expensive, for like $600 or $500 for those bottles. The thing about those vintages, not a lot of people give a shit about them, and I'm sure most of the people don't. that are listening to me right now. But for me, you know,
I have some wine drinkers on here. I can't afford $600 bottle of wine. It's too much.
I bet. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe you might be in the 20s and the 30s. That might be your flavor. But the thing is, you know, that vintage wine, that's another thing that they have there. And in another restaurant, it'll be $2,000, $3,000. And for me, that shit is like a time machine. I feel like I'm in the 60s when I'm drinking that shit.
Right.
So that's my thing. That's my place.
Where's your favorite place to vacation?
Favorite place to vacation would be Tokyo, because the vacation is cool, but I like to work, right? When I was living in Tokyo, I got a crib over there. I'd get on my electric bicycle, ride down to Trax Tokyo, you know what I'm saying? Give a pound to Hideki and start doing videos. We'd go to Hong Kong and shit. We do all sorts of shit over there. And the lifestyle he's living over there compared to what I'm doing over here, I'm going home and I'm watching YouTube. He's taking his clients out, hostess club, this, that, all sorts of shit going on.
There's so much fun. So it's a big playground, man.
Tokyo is where it's at for me.
Do you like you like cars? Do you have any crazy cars?
Yeah, I drive a SQ5, and you know, I used to have a S5. I don't have anything super crazy. I love my motorcycle. You have a beautiful car out here, but you're just gonna sit in traffic anyway, hit a fucking pothole. When I had my S5, the V8 back in 2008 or what have you, I bought that shit. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? That was a beautiful car, black, red leather interior, so on and so forth. A bubble in my tire every fucking block I would get. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was a waste of time out here, man.
All right. What's your favorite watch?
My favorite watch? Let's say, I mean, I like the classic Rolexes. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can't go.
Like what?
I can't go wrong with
that.
Daytona.
I thought you were gonna say that. Stainless or gold?
I like me personally, if I want to wear for every day and, you know, not shit on everybody, because when you're wearing a $30,000, $40,000 watch every day, you know, in today's society, it's already a danger, right? With people following and this and that. Yeah. So, especially rest in peace to Pop Smoke. I don't know but when you know, to these rappers, I just want to, if they're listening, what have you, when you're wearing $200,000, $250,000 worth of jewelry and someone else is walking around with $15 in their pocket, you do the math, right? And all they have is the most expensive thing they own is a $700 22, you know, Glock or something like that, whatever the fuck it is. It's a dangerous thing. So. Yeah. My personal watch, if I was gonna, you know, I wear my Trax NYC watch that I made 1,000,000 years ago, but I like the mother of pearl two-tone Daytona. You know what I'm saying? The two-tone yellow and stainless steel Daytona with that mother of pearl face. I love that mother of pearl face. Right. I love that watch.
Zenith movement or after?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, I didn't dig too deep in that. Now that you mention it, I remember. I think that after is the one I prefer. Now that it rings a bell, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
it's funny, you know, about the Pop Smoke, rest in peace. I used the almost identical situation. I said, listen, you got a ton of money. You're showing $100,000 in cash. You got $200,000 jewelry, and you got dudes, 4 guys in the car, and they got $20 total to their name in the car. What do you think they're gonna do? You know, they're gonna take a chance. Anyways, I don't want that's negativity. I just have like 2 last things, right?
Sure.
And is there anybody, you seem like a very non-malicious person, but it's just a funny thing. Is there anybody you want to put on blast, or are you just...
Put on blast? Maybe. I mean, let me think for a second. You know what I'm saying? Just think, if there's somebody that should be put on blast...
Please do it. Please, that'd be fucking great.
I would love to, but it doesn't. No one pops into my head. But, you know, the whole Diamond District... you know, since you extended your olive branch to me, I'll put the whole Diamond District on blast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially 47's a fucking crazy place.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not going to point my finger at anybody, but there's a lot of people there that were very disrespectful when I was coming up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? When I knocked on their door, they thought I was a thief. You know what I'm saying? They thought I looked like this.
You don't look like a thief. You look like a...
Well, you know, now I look like a normal adult. But back then I had baggy jeans and a white tee. And it was nasty. And I have a lot of animosity. When I have real animosity, this is nothing to me or to Tekashi. That's nothing. That's just entertainment and marketing. But animosity is when, you know, people took a certain route where they wanted to fuck me over. They could have got more money if they held me down and we worked together, because I'm a work together type of guy, but they fucked me over instead. Yeah. And it's in the back of my mind, and I don't see it going anywhere, bro.
You know what's funny is when I walked down 47th for the last 15 years, even I think around 2006 when I started becoming popular in the jewelry game, even since then, there's nothing but people who just want me to fucking do something for them. They fucking love me. They fucking give me hugs. Like, hey, come in the store. Hey, take a picture with me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And I see these people change. I see some businesses go good, and some people, they portray this fake lifestyle. Because I see them, I'm like, bro, what are you doing, dog? This is not you. You know, whatever. And that's, hey, listen, it's honorable that you did this by yourself. My last question for you is, I ask every person that it comes on my show, is there anything you want to ask me?
Anything I want to ask you, all right? I didn't come prepared to ask you, but give me a second.
Yeah.
Let me.
We just throw it out there, you know?
Let me think about it. Well, let me ask you this. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where's Ben Baller?
In 10 years, I'm definitely not working ever again. I'm trying to get out of here in 3 to 5. 10 years, I just want to watch my kids grow up. At 10 years, my oldest son will be graduating high school. You know, in 10 years, hopefully, you know, hopefully I'm actually maybe retired in San Francisco. I don't want to be in LA anymore. Was born and raised all my life.
What do you mean retired, brother? I mean, you're going to be sitting there by the poolside with a martini in your hand?
I'm going to be drinking water and trying to get in better shape, do a little bit more wellness, you know, a little more health and wellness awareness. And yeah, man, I don't want to do any kind of work. I don't want to own a business. If I own some real estate and there's money coming here, but pretty much my money's coming from when I go to sleep, I'm making money from something else. I just don't want to actually have a title other than being a father and a husband.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
That's good. I hope it's no doubt you're going to get there, so enjoy yourself, man.
Hey, man, my brother, thank you so much for coming on. I'm really glad. This was a fucking amazing episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break. Yo, Miles, man, can you throw on that Lakey Lake beat, and we will be right back. So, you know what? Still kind of shocked. Max, aka Trax NYC, is I should have asked him why the fuck he named it Trax NYC, but you know what? He was really articulate. You know, I was impressed. You know, seriously, he wasn't wearing a suit though. So, anyways, yesterday was me and my wife's 8th wedding anniversary. We have been together for 10 years total, a little over, and again, we've been married for 8, and it's been pretty crazy to see all the pics. Me and her went over some pics together, and the fact that all this shit has happened in the last 10 years is just insane. Nicolette, I love you so much. I can't thank you enough for all that you've done. All right? I love our family so much. It's crazy. I can't wait to get back to LA and celebrate. In fact, I am headed back in a few hours. I was going to stay another day. Fuck that. I miss everyone, especially you and Kaya and London and Ryder. Oh yeah, my podcast with one of the biggest, actually one of the only few Asian news anchors on national TV. Her name is Mei Lee. She's Korean. Her podcast actually released the episode I was on that I filmed a few weeks ago. And, you know, Next Shark, the big Instagram page, Asian page, posted a 4-minute clip, and Asians just got so fucking mad. They all bent out of shape and, you know, like, oh, this guy's fucking only flaunts his wealth and whatever. And it's, you know, it's hilarious. You know, you got these scholars in there, just a bunch of complainers, man. Just, you know, my whole thing was, I just think Asian people are too fucking soft, and they're just upset about it. And of course they are. All right. There's people out there like, oh, what about, where's Ben's social activism? You know, where's his philanthropy work? And motherfuckers are crying and talking that soft shit, you know, dry haters. I love it. Listen to the entire fucking podcast, you fucking goofies. Don't fucking make assumptions off of a small little clip. There was a disturbing video, super disturbing, went on every single Asian blog, of some old Chinese guy that was in a very serious hood. Bayview Heights, he's actually in Hunters Point district of HP of San Francisco. It's a very serious hood. And there's like 5 or 6 black dudes, and they're fucking beating up. They're giving the dude a hard time. They're pushing him around, calling him racial slurs, took his cans. And you know what? Listen, dog, I don't give a fuck what color you are, man. Listen, you guys are scumbags, piece of shits. I hope you motherfuckers get everything you get. And again, it got nothing to do with color. It's just sad that, you know, you motherfuckers have your issues already, and you're going to pick on some old 80-year-old man. It was crazy. But I don't know. The SFPD says they're on it. I don't know. It's crazy. Bella Hadid even made a post about it. She said it's heartbreaking. It is. It's sad. What else? Yesterday, I had a dope ass sit down at Bape. We got something we're discussing right now. Thank you, Kev, my man Kev, for the accessories and the gear. Actually, listen, I can't wait to get home tonight. All right, listen, I'm actually, as soon as I get out of here, I'm on my way to visit Daniel Arsham's studio. Daniel Arsham is a big artist. He said his studio is like the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for adults. He's gifting me a fucking very expensive bear brick, which he was supposed to give me like 4 months ago. I want to kill him, but I love him. He's a fucking amazing dude. No big deal. Like crazy bear brick. It is a collaboration between him and Soriyama, one of my favorite Japanese artists. And if I were to describe Daniel Arsham, I would say he was the 2070 Albert Einstein. Super talented, very abstract. I don't know. This is weird. So yeah, gonna get out of here, and I'm excited that I was able to get that extra seat next to me, so I didn't have anybody sitting next to me that might be sick for 6 hours. And thank God for Wi-Fi. And what else am I thankful for? You know what? Thank you to everyone who showed love on my Kobe piece. The piece went fucking viral. That Kobe Bryant tribute piece was posted. Every single basketball page posted it. You know, it was dope. They, you know, and you know what? Shout out to Complex and Hypebeast. They have been supporting me for a decade or even longer. They featured it as well. I love this piece so much. It's so clean. And no joke, listen, if Vanessa Bryant really wanted this piece and she reached out to me about it, I'd give it to her. I'm not going to go out of my way and certain things. You know, I want to bug her or whatever. But it was like something like that. Cool. But to all the suggesters and the guys out there saying, hey, you should do this, you should do this, and you should make one for this, you should shut the fuck up. Period. Just listen. Do me shut the fuck up. Please. Okay? Don't worry about what the fuck I do, whether I donate to charity or fucking give the fucking funds and auction it and fucking give the proceeds to fuck. Don't worry about what the fuck I do. All right? I'll always do the right thing. Okay? Just do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Okay? You make a living. Make some money. All right? And this ain't a cheap shot at broke people. I'm just saying, make some money. It's not easy to make money, right? Make some money. And then you tell me what you would do once you make some money and you want to give somebody a fucking $30,000 piece. It's small as fuck. And that's how expensive the thing was because it's made of platinum. There's crazy baguettes in it. There's 55 baguettes to be exact. It's just crazy. Too many people talking about a game they aren't even in and they don't even have tickets to. And they don't even have a TV to watch the game. You know what I mean? But again, I love this piece. I really do so fucking much. My next piece that I've been wanting to make is this emoji piece, which is my favorite emoji, period. I'm sure all of you that know me know what emoji that is. Sidebar, my text messages are getting really fucking bad. I can't even reply to my actual friends. WhatsApp is driving me crazy. I want to delete it. It's making me a little nervous. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to be on WhatsApp anymore. I have been on my iPad game heavy as fuck though. Yo, speaking of which, Motorola, yo, what's good? Supposed to be in January, then you said February. Yo, we're about to be in March. Like, what is good with my Flip 2020 Razr? Like, you know, like I'm really like curious. Last night I did a fucking stupid, dope, sick ass interview with my street godfather, Ice-T, which I'll be dropping next week. I can't believe the fucking amount of OGs that have been hitting me up to be on the podcast and that they want to be on the podcast. I'm just like, I'm flattered. All right. But the OG shit that me and Ice-T got into was fucking amazing. He is just so fucking awesome, man. He's like family for real. I just got to figure out when I'm going to schedule everyone that wants to get on the show. Oh yeah, I'm doing the Wolf of Wall Street's podcast, The Wolf's Den, in a couple weeks. I'm excited to see my guy Jordan Belfort again. Shout out to Jimmy Boy again. He helped me out this week. He rolled with me. He was stomping in these New York streets with me, taking pictures, doing videos, hanging out. I think he might have scared Trax a little bit. Not by intentionally, but it was just some misunderstanding shit. And by the way, I write down all the notes that I can as possible when it comes to this podcast because sometimes I forget and my life is crazy. But that's it. That's the time that we have for this episode. I hope you liked it. I liked it. I think the Trax thing was dope. I want to get more jewelers on here. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't to my podcast. And always tell your friends to tell their friends about Behind the Baller, all right? I do this for me, but I do this for you as well. Unorthodox living is all I know. All right. Until the weekend wrap up, this is the end of episode 58. My guy from Arizona by the name of Lakey Inspired. Can you please take us out with one of your beats? Peace.